Today we're with John Kelly. John Kelly is a personal injury attorney located in Phoenix, Arizona. He's agreed to answer some online questions specifically related to car accidents. To those of you, if you've posted one of those questions, you're going to have your answers right away. If you've personally been in a car accident, you can reach out to John directly, or he's also agreed that you can just simply post your questions that you have directly related to your case or potential case at the bottom of this video. With that said, John, I want to go ahead and go into some of these questions, and I'll start with the first one. How long do I have to file a car accident claim?
Yeah, in Arizona, every state has a little bit different laws with this, and the law that we're talking about is the state's statute of limitations, the limitation of when you can bring a lawsuit. So in Arizona, generally, and there are some exceptions to this, in Arizona, generally, after an auto accident, you'll have 2 years to actually bring the lawsuit. Now, if one of those exceptions, which is kind of a big one, which I'll discuss, is if a minor is involved in the vehicle, so someone under 18. And in that case, the person actually has 2 years to bring the lawsuit after they turn 18. So this time starts tolling after they turn 18. There are some other little wrinkles in the law in that area, so it's a good idea to talk to an attorney. And even if you think the statute of limitations has run in your case, you may want to just check on with an attorney to really sit down and evaluate the case in detail.
Okay, all right, makes sense. Next question. It's probably fairly common to you as well. My insurance company has denied my claim. What is the next step?
Okay, so this one actually is an interesting question because the individual is saying that their own insurance company has denied their claim. I often get the question, if the other insurance company denies my claim, what are my options then? And that answer is typically, well, we can push forward and file a lawsuit and possibly even go to trial, arbitration. There's a lot of other things that can happen there. But if your own insurance company is denying your claim, then I'm going to make the assumption that this is an uninsured claim, meaning that the lawsuit was actually towards the person. The person that caused the accident didn't have the insurance to cover your injuries and damages, so you had to go to your own insurance company and say, pay my injuries and damages based on someone else's fault. And if they deny that claim, then you can demand arbitration. And there's usually an arbitration agreement that's kind of in your policy. So what seems like is a simple question gets very complicated quickly. So you'll definitely, want to consult with an attorney about that and go over your policy. So the place to start is with your own insurance policy.
Okay, all right. This one's a little longer. I went to dinner with my wife and had a few drinks. On my way home, my car was hit by another driver. The police showed up and arrested me for DUI. The person was arrested for DUI. I resolved my DUI. Do I have a legal case against him since he caused the accident?
Absolutely. Just because you were driving under the influence or were convicted of that doesn't mean that you have no claim against someone who injures you. And the question is, who is at fault for the injury and or the accident? And it sounds like, in this case, the other party was found to be at fault. Now remember, there can be comparative fault. So in this instance, I would imagine the other party is going to claim that they weren't 100% at fault for this because the driver was, driving under the influence, and they may have played a part in the accident. So that's something that kind of gets unraveled as the case develops. But generally, if you were not at fault for the accident, you still have a good injury claim.
Okay, all right. This next one is, I live in Phoenix, but was on vacation in Costa Rica. I was in a car accident in a car. At the time, they charged my card a little over $2,000 to cover the damages, but now I'm receiving demand letters for $4,500 more. What do I do?
Well, one of the things that really makes this case somewhat interesting is that it's in another country, so there's a another different jurisdiction that's going to kind of cover the legal aspects of the case. What I'm assuming happened here is there was an accident in a rental vehicle, and the rental company had to pay out, their insurance company had to pay out for the injuries to the other person, so they're subrogating and trying to go after the renter. And that may be completely legal. Now, why they're actually going after more money than they had originally gone after is something that there would have to be some exploration of finding out where all these bills are coming from, what the medical expenses were of the other party, you know, who the insurance companies are that are involved with this. So that's something that definitely, you know, we want to make sure we get to the bottom of it so that this individual can have an absolute resolution of the case and not worry about more and more bills coming down the road and not knowing why they're coming.
Okay, I understand. And this is the final question here. This was posted. When I was walking my dog, I was hit by an immigrant with no insurance. He was arrested. I have some medical ways that he's covered through a lawsuit.
Yeah, with someone who runs you over on the road, you're going to have a lawsuit against that individual. The question then becomes, when you get a judgment, are you going to be able to collect that? And you know, a lot of times, unfortunately, there are situations where people are injured by someone and they aren't able to recover their damages, their pain and suffering, what other, you know, avenues that they may be able to collect otherwise are not available to them because the other party doesn't want to have insurance, or they don't have assets to you know, go after it. And so that can be a situation that can be lead a lot of medical expenses. As an attorney, the things that we do are typically work with the medical providers to notify them of the situation. Sometimes they'll reduce their bills, knowing that that there's no insurance to pay for the damage. So there's a lot of things that we can kind of do to mitigate the actual damage and expenses that someone that is placed in this kind of unfortunate situation has.
Okay. All right. Well, John, appreciate your time. I'm sure the people that you answer their questions are appreciative. Again, if you're watching this and you do need someone, if you've been in an accident, you need a personal injury attorney, I'm sure you can just give John a call. Also, you can obviously post some questions to this video, and he will get back to you. Thanks for your time, John.
All right. Thank you.